before we start.
And we just actually started.
Otherwise, I'll only think, oh God, I'm going to cough. I'm going to cough. I mustn't.
We're going to start with a cough. That's not COVID. It's
I think we're live, are we?
Yeah, we're live.
I'm having a good cough before we start. Yeah. So what you got for us today?
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're going to do a bit of a different review and unboxing that I usually do. This one is not edited. It's completely live. So if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. With me, we got Craig. And it's going to be the surprise and voice of questions, actually. So what we're going to review today is actually the Bestview T2 Teleprompter. It's a teleprompter. Welcome to the people that just joined. It's a teleprompter, so this one goes in front of the camera or the mobile phone. And with these, you can create a text and have it played, and you can read it whilst looking at the camera. We got actually the box here.
Wow.
It arrived
I've been keen to see this.
It arrived yesterday, but I held myself from opening it because I wanted to do this live so everybody can see. So I will show the box, and you can see there. Now, before we go on, let's talk some specs about. I got the list here. I'll prepare myself. Let's talk a bit about this teleprompter. This one is a teleprompter. It comes with a remote control, and it's usable for anything. YouTube videos, live, anything you think you need to read a script or you want to have some suggestions without having to look off the camera, so you can look directly at the camera. It comes with different rings adapters, so you can mount it on different lenses and on the phone, as we said before. And that's mostly what you need to know about it, because now we're gonna open it. And to open it, what we're gonna do, let's see if we can make no, how to stream, solo layout. There you go. Right. Let's see what's in the box. La la la. They packed it really good.
I'll prepare in case we need to ring an ambulance.
Keep your phone ready. There you go. Always have a nice pair of scissors or a knife in your office, because they're gonna help you.
DFdigitalfoto, is that the actual? Is that the manufacturer? Is it?
DFdigitalfoto is the brand.
Oh, digital. Okay.
It's DFdigitalfoto. You can already start to see. Pretty noisy. Come on. Let's close the knife. Always close it. If you put it away, you don't want to have any accident. And we got the box. Oh, and we have two nice, how you call those? Those are like the cleaning cloth. I believe those are used for the mirror. We got a giveaway. Share digital photo products on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and they will select one or two people for the giveaway. Well, this one is the box. At the back here, you can see what you can use with, like with the phone. If you're using it with the phone, that's how you need to set it up. If you're using it with the camera, that's how you need to set it up. At the front, we just have a nice picture of the teleprompter. I actually had to pay for this. I didn't get it for free, but I have a discount. I have a discount on the price. This teleprompter in the UK comes at £119. It's not cheap, but if you start thinking about how many videos you can make with a teleprompter and how easy it's going to be making the videos with the teleprompter, then you will realize that £119 are not that much. So inside the box, we have the little manual. Is in Chinese by the look of it. Let's see. Yeah, it's in Chinese. Oh no, we do have the English version. So that's a good start. What have we got here? We got a box, and in the box, what does this box contain? Let's move this way so we can see what's inside the box. This way. Right, in here we got the adapters. These you mount them on the lens that you're using. So you can then put the teleprompter on. We got another cloth for cleaning. We got a lot of cloths. I got so many of them. We got the holder. This one is for the tablet or for the phone, whichever you want to use, because this teleprompter can be used with both the phone and a tablet. And what's in here? Oh, that's the other adapter. There you go. This one, you put the phone in there, or you put the tablet in here. I think it works perfectly with an iPad mini. So that's the perfect size for a tablet. And it seems to work with any type of phones. So we'll soon see how everything is. We got screws. Oh, bloody hell, we got screws. But we don't have a screwdriver in here, so if you buy it, remember to get a screwdriver. Remember to have a screwdriver with you. And we got what? Oh, that's the controller. Because I think I haven't said, this teleprompter comes with this remote. You connect it with your phone or with your tablet, and then you can select the speed for the text and all the other options. This one is the remote. It's pretty cool, actually. Does it need batteries? Of course it does. It needs 2 AAA batteries. So that's another thing. If you buy it, you need a screwdriver and 2 AAA batteries. And I need to go and see if I have 2 AAA batteries somewhere. And you close it like that. And then we got the most important bit. The teleprompter. At the back here, you see that's where the adapter go. In this case, it's just 46 millimeters, but it's locked, so it won't work. On this other side, we have the cover, and now to open it, does it slide up? No, it doesn't. How do you push is written right there. Push. I should have read it. I have fear of breaking it, so I'm trying to be pretty. There you go. And that's the teleprompter. You can see my face in it. Hello. So as you can see, on one side we got the reflective side, and on the other side, if we remove it and we'll put it in, you can basically see that it's like there is nothing. And that's how it works. You got the Actually, let me swap again, and we're back. So on one side, you're gonna have, there you go. That's how it works. It goes on top of the camera, and you see that there is no difference whatsoever. And then on the other side, you got the reflection. Although it doesn't seem to appear on the screen.
It doesn't look like a mirror from here.
No, it doesn't.
Looks like a clear piece of glass, but I presume that's just the lighting that's doing that.
I do believe it's the lighting. This one we need to test it now. But do I need the camera? No, I don't need the batteries at the moment right now. But I need to get rid of the so let me get rid of the phone so I can use the phone. Now, if we follow the instruction, it says we need to download an app because you're gonna have an app that with which you're gonna do all the text. There you go. And the app is called the address is invalid. Nice. That's not a great start.
Much more interesting doing these live, I think. Definitely more interesting.
Especially when you start to discover all these. Okay, the app is called, I found it. Let's see, there you go. That's the app. It's called Bestview or DESview, but on iOS it's called Bestview. Right. Can they choose a single name for everything? So we're gonna test it on an iPhone 12 Pro. And we're gonna see if it works on this one. So now technically how it works. We will need to set up this lovely teleprompter. We will need to attach the adapter for the phone or the tablet. And this one should go like this. Can you see? I think you can. But it seems that we need to have a screwdriver. Do I have a screwdriver?
And batteries. And an internet connection.
No, you just need Bluetooth, actually. I do have my little kit. This one is just a kit that has absolutely every single thing you can imagine, whether it's a knife, a screwdriver. And this one hopefully should do the job. Yeah, it looks like it will do the job. So we got 3 screws. Why do we have 3 screws when there are only 2 holes? Because most probably people lose one, and therefore they need to have a backup one. Right, let's put this together. That's gonna be a better review later on once I start to play with it, so I can give you better insight on how this works. Are you screwing? No, you're not. Why are you not? Okay, this part seems to be the complicated one because you need to push it a bit. That's one is not really in, but we'll make it harder later. We'll sort it in a minute. Just let's get the second one. Come on. La 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 la.
It's still quite a simple bit of kit, really, though, isn't it? It doesn't look like there's a lot of assembly to do.
No, if you have the right tools, it's an easy thing to put together. The thing I believe is going to be annoying is you can transport it around without having to put it in the box, but I don't feel it's going to be safe because you will have to transport it like this.
It looks pretty light.
It is.
Just
It's
not very
really,
robust, I suppose.
it's a hard plastic, although it's still plastic. And this one is on. So so I've downloaded the app, but seems to be in Chinese. So we can add. Okay, this looks to be a bit complicated. I will need to have a look to see if there are other apps that you can use that can import like doc file or txt files.
Because that's going to be quite important for this, isn't it, really? Because you need to write a script, and you need to be able to make sure that you can get at that script nice and easily. Like if it could import a Word file or something would be rather nice, or even copy paste into it.
And I'm making a lot of mistakes. There you go. That's better. Okay, so I'll take a simple text just to try it, because when you click on the plus, you need to write the text that you want to read. So it doesn't seem that it can. It doesn't seem. Oh, whoa. Okay, no, there must be another app, a better one, because this one is not good whatsoever.
Well, this is interesting for anybody buying this, because this is what you're going to immediately come across, isn't it? These issues.
Yeah.
First,
If you're gonna, if
am I going? Have I got? Can I import into it?
that's the thing. If you're gonna buy this teleprompter, the teleprompter itself is fine. It's plastic. It's not metal. It's just simple plastic, but it's like hard plastic.
That sounds quite a lot of money to me, actually, Domenico, for that piece of kit if it's all just plastic molding. How much did you say it was?
It's 119 pounds. It is quite a lot.
I don't know how that compares to other brands, though, because I mean, I suppose they're all around about that, aren't they?
There is another model that is a bit cheaper, but on the other side is not as big. So basically, if I press play, that's how it works. I think that I got the light.
Now you need to put something behind it, because I can't see that on the screen, because it needs to be black behind it. But you can see the basic. You get the basic picture, actually.
You get the idea how it works. Hello, I'm right inside the teleprompter. But there you go. If you put the camera and consider that there is the light that goes straight on, because if I look at it from my side.
So how big's that text for you from where you're viewing that? I mean, is it quite easy to read?
It is readable. It is readable. The text itself, I can actually show you on the phone, because this is nothing else than a mirror reflection of what's going on the phone. So that's the size.
Okay, I'm looking at the other screen because I can see that. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty.
You got options. I don't know if you can see them. You can increase, decrease the size of the text. You can change the speed. You can change the background color. You can have green. You can have it blue. Or you can
Sometimes these apps will allow you to highlight things as well for emphasis and for director's comments.
And then you got the mirror mode. So in this way, when it goes into reflection, you read it like, for you would look normal. It wouldn't look like, because you see like this and you can read it, okay? But when you see it on the mirror,
it's obviously mirrored. Yeah, I see. Yeah,
the text is mirrored, so you won't be able to read it. Therefore, I believe that you can download any app for the teleprompter. It doesn't need to be absolutely this one. I will do a research and see which one is the best app, especially for the free one. that you can.
Yeah, I downloaded some for the iPad actually, and there's some cheap ones, free ones out there that are pretty efficient. So you could use any of those, I'm sure.
You can increase the text quite a lot. Let's see how big. I'd say if you use a phone and you need glasses, I think you will end up with the text big like this, but then you can read only 2 lines at a time.
Yeah,
so you will need to think about the script carefully.
Yeah, because like when I'm presenting, you need to be able to read the next sentence ahead. You've got to sort of be reading slightly ahead of yourself, particularly if it requires reactions and things like that.
Yeah, the controller itself, again, is plastic. It's just plastic. It's fine. I mean, it doesn't look to be a bad type of plastic, nor the mold looks to be a bad one. It's pretty good, but it's still plastic. Now, let me think if I have a couple of batteries I can use. I might, but I can't remember what
in the family, we always say about Domenico, we say, if you're not sure what to buy him for Christmas, buy him batteries, because your motto is always, you can never have enough batteries.
Absolutely. Let me see if
I can show you my battery collection while you're waiting, if you like.
We can actually make a video.
Yeah, now this was a pretty good bit of kit. It's a battery set that I bought with all the different batteries in it, all nicely ready, so you never go through these problems. It'll even pin to the wall nicely, so they're all there ready for you.
I found the batteries.
Yeah, I'll hand them over to you.
I got the
got them.
yeah, rechargeable ones. We got the batteries. Now the funny bit is to find out how this controller will connect with the phone. It doesn't have any light or anything that tells you that it's on. So what does it say here? Game or key? Oh, there you go. It does have a light. Tells you that it's on. Just a simple light. So I believe that this one works through Bluetooth. So we need to open the settings of the phone, get into Bluetooth, and yeah, it found it. It's called Bestview. That's how this remote will appear on your phone when you look for the Bluetooth one. It's connected. That means if I have the app, we got the app here, and we got the remote here. Now, if let's see, what button? It is pretty complex.
It's scrolling. Okay. Yeah, it's scrolling. Yeah, it's jumpy.
This one is jumping. There must be a button that gives the play. Oh no, this one closed the app.
Well, it's good to learn it this way, actually, because we're going to be using that live quite a lot, aren't we? So it's good.
Right, so let's see. Come on, focus. Cover my face so you will focus. So there are the button X and B that are just moving it up and down, jumpy. A doesn't do anything. Y doesn't do anything. This one doesn't do anything. The back button doesn't do anything. Doesn't seem to do anything, to be fair. No? Nope.
So it's not immediately intuitive. I mean, you know.
No, so because it's not intuitive, we're going to read the manual.
It was the way with Chinese stuff, actually. They make great products, and so often, but the actual instructions are laughable.
Yeah, in fact, the first pages are just about how you can connect.
How to throw away your batteries.
Then there is download the app. Okay, now we get the remote. It says on here that And the remote just fell on the floor. You see, the beautiful thing of live is that if I was just recording this review, I would have just cut the scene and just added another one. But as you can see, we're live. So it says the back button down here, pull down can switch play and pause, but it's not doing absolutely anything.
Actually, this is going to be a great idea for a channel, Domenico. We could do it like Tommy Cooper did his magic and do an unboxing and really have it go wild.
Oh, that's so... Oh, that's so bad. Like, seriously, that's really bad. Now it's not doing anything at all.
Actually, unboxing with explosions and rabbits and stars and a few After Effects.
No, it's not doing anything.
Horrible things. Unbox corpses.
It's not doing absolutely anything now. But it seems that you can use it as a keyboard. Because I switched from key to game, because there's a switch on the side that says keys and game. And if you switch it between key and game, when you switch to game, the keyboard appears. It says to connect it. Lights on, blah, 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 select best view, blah, 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 and that's all done. And then we got condition of warranty. Okay. This one should be speed up, and it doesn't speed up. Speed down, and it doesn't speed down. Let's see if we open the menu.
You think the iPhone 12 could be a problem? Because that's just come out, isn't it?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be the iPhone. I think it's the iOS. But I've opened the option, the menu, and if I press the buttons, let's see if it's increasing, and now it's not focusing. Focus. You have nothing else to focus on. There you go. Increasing and decreasing the speed, and then it's going up and down on the text. And oh, there you go. It works. But
did we get a scroll there? Are we getting? Are we? Yeah, here we go. This is it. This is it. You've got a bit of a white screen below it. I see there, but
yeah, that's the options.
Okay, but
because I believe if I close the options, I can't close the options. Oh, there you go. Close the options. Okay. I think I got... I don't know if it's the app or if it's the remote itself, how it's configured and everything. But if the text is scrolling, so you're just having it like this on your teleprompter and this is going up and down, you cannot control it. It doesn't play, it doesn't change. The only thing it does, it changes between different sections. So imagine you are down here and you've done something bad, so I need to go back up. You can
jump
go back up, you can jump. The only moment where the remote works is when you open the menu. So when you open the menu where you select the size, the speed, and these things, that's when the remote play works. So now, see?
Now that's nice. See, that's readable, isn't it? That's a read. And can you change that speed? Because a lot of these apps will allow you to add a few seconds extra speed or slower.
You see? Like now it's
crawling up there now. Yeah, that's fantastic.
And that's really fast.
And is that you finding that kind of easy to do with it without having to look at the control? That would be the important thing, wouldn't it? You need to be able to, like, you feel you've got to speed up a little bit or slow down a little bit.
That's the problem. You won't be able to do it if you're reading.
You can't do it if you're reading, right? You couldn't do that from your hand.
No. Yeah. So how it works? You will have to put the phone or the tablet on the teleprompter. Open the app, select the text you want to read. Once the text is open, like in this case, open the options, and play the text.
Right.
Play the text. And it's not playing the text. Play the text. Play the text. There you go. And then you start to do a quick read to see if you can read it, if it's too fast or it's too slow. So you start to slow it down or make it faster. And then once you're done, you will need to get out, because I think that there is a button on this remote that looks exactly like the menu button. Let me see if I can show you. The button on your right, not this one. The one,
Yeah.
Can you see it? It looks like it has 3 lines on it.
Okay.
This
Well, it's
button
just a matter of getting to know. It looks to me like you could handle that by yourself and work with it. It looks like it's meant for that.
Yeah, the problem is that I believe that 3 little dots, they should work like to open the options, but they don't.
Mm.
So if I try to press the 3 little dot, it doesn't do anything. If I press the on-off button, it doesn't do anything. It just closed the app, basically.
Say. Now that would be pretty hard midstream if you were working live, which we're hoping to do with it.
The other thing I can do is selecting an area of the text. Like can't select the area. No, to be fair, it's too much money for this. I want to see if there is another.
It doesn't look like that's had a lot of thought put into the software, but you might find it's easy once you've sort of had to dig through it and read the manual. But really, these things should be intuitive, really, shouldn't they? You should be able to just pretty much be able to pick it up and use it, particularly with your knowledge you have of those type of things. I mean, you write the things.
I want to try some simple. There is an app called Teleprompter, just Teleprompter, and I want to see if that app would work with this remote. Yeah. I don't want to sign up. Wait, what? No, I don't want to sign up. Why apps are made to sign up? Why do I have to sign up? I don't want to sign up.
It's Chinese. It's Chinese, probably owned by TikTok.
No, this one was another one. The one that's premium. Let's try this other one. That's another teleprompter. It has 4 stars. I mean, if it has 4 stars, it might be good at something. Okay, you can use Bluetooth. Don't send me notification. Order. Why do I have to give you? Yeah, whatever. Oh, I don't want any plan. Okay, this up. Oh, it's so.
It's a perennial problem, isn't it? You know, you've just signed up to pay £40 a month just to get a teleprompter.
No, I could cancel it, luckily. Right, so let's try with this. Name your file. Whatever, just give it a name. Okay, so let me see if. Okay, it works with other apps. So I got another app here, and the remote seemed to work with the other app too. But again, we have the same problem that you cannot play. You can only scroll. So pressing a button, I can scroll it, but I cannot play it. And again, the on-off button turn off. Yeah, no, this remote is not really thought through. But I don't know if on Android it's going to be the same. So I'd say that Android need to be tested.
Again, that's quite a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, how much does it cost for a simple controller like that, really? I mean, peanuts, isn't it, to make something like that? And that's going to be a key piece of the kit, because show us a bit more about the actual kit itself, Domenico. I mean, how strong is it for what the money you're paying there?
So here we got the kit. I don't know if you can.
So it's metal.
That's plastic. Hello, and welcome. Yeah, that's just That's just plastic. It is thick plastic. It feels like
It's a solid
trying to
one.
pull it, and it doesn't feel like it's going to. Okay, no. If you start to play with it like this,
Break, couldn't it?
it will break really easy.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't look that strong. Not for the money we're talking about there.
No, not for the money.
I mean, it's a fine bit of kit in you know, I mean, it does its job. I can see that, but I would have put that in the range of about what, 50 quid?
Yeah, I would say 50 to 60 quid is something I would pay for. But 119 pounds for these? Nah.
I mean, is that I mean, have you researched the price elsewhere? That's at the normal sort of expected price, is it? Is it, or is that just?
This one is the more or less the price that you will pay. Actually, is in the range of the cheap ones. Because if you
Okay.
want a good one, you will need to go in the 200-300 pounds mark. But to be fair, 119 pounds for this one, I don't think is worth the money. Now, there is something that I don't know. I mean, the story with the remote is the one that for me is the most important bit, because the mirror itself, let's be honest, it's just a mirror that reflects what it sees on the screen. So
I mean, there's nothing technical about a mirror and the rest of it. The app though should have had a bit more put into that from the sounds of it. I mean, you had a Chinese screen up originally too.
Hold on. Okay, that's my bad. They need to update the manual. They absolutely need to write down how to bloody use this thing.
That must apply to every single Chinese product on the market, isn't it? The number I've got here that you need a new manual.
That button I told you before that says game or key on the side. And I said when you change to game, it opens the keyboard. Actually, if you close the keyboard by tapping on the screen, now, you see?
Ah.
Button, it works. Then we can go back and forth, and we can make the test go faster or slower just by pressing the buttons. See?
Yeah, that's all right. And you can set a speed for it too. It will just set a set speed for you.
When it's running,
to use that controller all the time.
So when it's playing, let me cover my face.
There you go. Yeah, that's like a typical monitor.
You press the buttons. Okay, pause. You see, it's pretty intuitive.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it?
Once you learn how it works, press play, and then you can, by pressing these buttons on the side, you can make it slower or faster.
Yeah, I don't think it would take long to get the hang of that, would it? Really, bit of practice.
So okay, it does work. It's just that the instruction needs to be. Oh, they need to review. Like seriously, the only thing that says on the instructions is that's how you turn it on. That's how you connect it. That's it. Right? It does have a picture that tells you what the button do, but it doesn't say anything about the switch on the side. That basically changes between key and game. So it works. It was my and you can play by pulling down the knob in the center. So it does work. It does work. It works with its original app. Although I don't like the fact that you need to paste the text in there instead of loading a document that you already wrote. Because this
so how would you get the text into that? Would you have to send yourself a text message or something, or How would you put it into that?
Well, you will be presented with an empty page. On this empty page,
there, do you?
You press the add button, and then you need to add the title and the content.
How do you put the content in?
Well, the only way,
copy paste it from an email.
Just copy paste from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, stupid thing. You can create it in Word, save it on Dropbox or Google Cloud or whatever you use, and then open it on your phone or on your tablet, then select the text, copy and paste into the app. The problem is the app, if you look closely, is not well made. You see the top over there, the white bit, that should be actually black.
Okay, so it's thrown together then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is all right if you're paying 20 quid for the thing, but when you're paying 119 or whatever you said it was, blimey, you'd have thought they'd have done some research. How long has this product been out? Have you any idea how long this has been on the market?
Well, I remember I was looking for this last year, so for sure it's been 1 year, 1.5 years.
So they had plenty of time to sort all those quirks out, didn't they, really?
I think what they need to do is to have somebody that writes them, because I think I've noticed with a lot of these companies is that they have problems with their product, but nobody's telling them where the problem is. So I believe that the only thing is that I'm going to write them an email and I tell them all the bugs and defects I found. That's my job, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, interesting actually, because that'll make interesting when you make your final video for this, because you can see what their reactions were, and you could even clip into some of this that we're doing now to show the problems you've had with opening
absolutely
unboxing,
Oh yeah, because here we are showing what a person would do when they open the kit for the first time.
Yeah, someone like me, for example, by now would have probably been jumping up and down on it, So I don't have that sort of patience, You expect to open it and get it working,
And now I want to try and mount it on my camera. We got really a lot of adapters, like really a lot. We got the 72mm adapter. We got a 77mm, 62mm. We got 55, we got 67, 58. So basically you can adapt it on so many different lenses. And that's a good thing, because like at the moment, I'm going to mount it on my A7 III, and it has the 16 to 35mm, and this one has 72mm. The diameter is 72mm. So I need a nice big one, but then I have the other lenses that they are all different. So having different adapters, it's a nice thing. So the ring just goes on, and how it works, you just there you go.
Blimey, simple. That is simple.
If you look at the bottom, it does have some screw. This means you can put it on tripods, but on the other side, if you put it on a camera, it's not making any difference to the weight of the camera.
So you could just put your camera onto your tripod as normal, then, I suppose, and then just rests on.
Yeah, and I say to be careful how you mount it, because as you can see, you can break it. Because did it crack? No, it didn't. Okay. Full in test passed. It didn't crack. But
I mean, how strong is that screen? I mean, it's hard for us to tell, really.
It's still plastic. It seems that the entire kit is just made of plastic. Actually, just the adapters, the lens adapters. Oh, and test number 2 passed. It seems that just the adapters are made of metal. And I believe because the adapters are the one that needs to be mounted on the camera to hold the teleprompter. they were made of plastic. But yeah, if be careful how you mount it, because you can mount it slightly on the side. So
I'll be reading like this, wouldn't you? Yeah.
but if I look through the camera, I can't see absolutely anything, and it doesn't make any difference to the light. There is no difference in the light that the camera sees. So basically, the camera light, whatever settings you have, you don't need to change it, because sometimes when you have a mirror in front of the lens, it will cut a stop or half a stop, so you need to increase the ISO or decrease the f-stop to have the set to balance back the light. But in this case, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. And let me try this thing again. So you mount it on the camera, you open the app, you copy paste your text. So we got our text. Then you have to, okay, that's going to be hard with one end. I'll just use.
People will be doing this with an iPhone. You can put an iPad on there as well, can you? Is it big enough to do that? Did you say at the beginning?
Yeah, on the other side, because this one that I'm using at the moment has two different sides. So on this side is where you mount the iPhone, but then on this other side, so if you mount it upside down.
Oh, then it comes out further. Okay, I got it. I thought that's what it was. I wasn't sure when you first showed it.
And you can mount. And you can mount
heavy,
or you can mount. Okay, I'm just trying to. Okay, mirror. Okay, there is. Okay. Oh, that's. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. Right. When you mount the phone on the teleprompter with the app, and you need to turn the text to be mirrored in a way that you can read it on the mirror, right? Now there is a problem. When you put it as mirrored, basically, let me put this one at the back. When you put it as mirrored, you can't actually read it, because you need to have it the other way around. But then if you put it the other way around, it won't hold, because as soon as you put it on the camera, you move a bit, then it whoops again.
Oh, crikey. Oh, that drives you scatty. I mean, you can't lock that on your iPhone.
No, I don't think so. I think you can lock. No, not on the iPhone, but on the iPad, you can lock the direction.
Yeah, iPad, I can lock direction.
On the iPad, you can lock the direction, and on the.
But that's another thing a person's got to sort out, haven't they? When they get this, that's another frustration.
Yeah, and remember, if you're using it, remember to remove the. Sorry. If you're using it, remember to remove the lock after a certain amount of time, because if it locks. Okay, now it's up. It's mounted on the camera, and let's see. There you go. Can you read the text?
Oh yeah, that's pretty clear, and I think that's about the right that you would have for. I'm looking at quite a small iPad in front of me here.
You see what happened?
I mean, yeah. I can actually see the camera behind it, actually, but that might be just where you got the lighting on it.
Yeah, I got the light that goes straight into the camera, so. But
yeah, you could read. I could read that. That's a little bit slow for me to be speaking, but that would be, I think with a few adjustments, that would be certainly.
Yeah, if I look at it, let me see. No, well, you see, if I don't have the light, yeah, there you go. If I don't have the light directly in, you don't actually see.
you're not going to have a light directly onto the camera when you're filming someone. No, the camera's on, the light's going to be on the subject, so that should be fine.
It is fine.
How that would work if we were outside on a bright sunny day? I think you'd pretty much never be able to do it, would you? If we did use it on location anywhere.
No, I don't. I think this one is more for studio, or location more.
You know, I mean, when we filmed in India, I mean, we could hardly see anything because of the. I think that you wouldn't stand a chance even on a sunny day, on a normal day with that, I reckon.
No, I don't think you will stand a chance in a sunny day. Or well, you saw how it looks with direct light inside. It would be transparent. That would be hard to see. But let's recap this 119-pound teleprompter from Bestview. But then it reads Bestview, and then the app is called Bestview. And on the purchase page is called Bestview. Okay, they should choose a name and that's it. So it's plastic everywhere. The mirror is plastic. The cover is plastic. The handle is plastic with a bit of aluminum. Or aluminum. How do you say in English? Because there is this different aluminum and aluminium between the different countries. It seems just it's thick plastic, but I see that if you put something heavy or somebody holds onto it, it will break. That's it. It's gone.
And if you drop that on the concrete, I reckon that'd go too, wouldn't it? If you're outside or even in the studio and it fell and hit a concrete floor.
Well, we did have a couple of falling tests, and it survived because the mirror is plastic. It's not a mirror, so it's going to be pretty hard to break it. I mean, it needs to fall from a pretty high height to break.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you couldn't have glass anyway, could you? Because glass would be even more problematic, actually. So you've got plastic for it, I guess.
It does have a cover. So when you finish to use it, you can put the cover on and protect it. The only problem is that if you want to transport it, you need to remove the phone holder bit. That means you need to have a screwdriver always with you, and it's a pretty tiny one because the screws, let me see, they are damn tiny.
And that's why they know that's a problem. That's why they're giving you a spare screw, isn't it?
Yeah, that I've already lost.
Yeah.
But you could technically transport it without putting it in the box. But then again, you will need to plan. But that's something you will use in a studio. So it's not something that you will use on a point and shoot situation, like you're going out and you decide to film. Because you need to have the script. You need to know which lens you're going to use. You need to know where it's going to be, because this one you're going to put it on a tripod. You're not just putting it on a camera and carrying it around. So it's more for a studio situation rather than a always on the go situation. 119 pounds. I say that is too much for this. I would expect to pay below the £100 mark, not above. What do you think, Craig?
Well, I think if we were buying that for the studio, something for the studio, I'd want something a bit more robust than that for the money, actually, a bit stronger than that generally. And I was hoping that would have been useful for taking out, if they, like, we do things like ghost hunts and things like that. Great to have a monitor that we could read from. But if you're in a sort of environment like that, you're doing like a Most Haunted type movie, fiddling around, putting screws in and out of it and putting it together, and the difficulties with the connection between the controller and that, I'd be very disappointed. I'd be very worried about taking that and relying on that in a situation where you don't have a lot of time for setting up and things. You have to get straight on with it. And in the studio, I think I don't think more expensive monitors are going to be worse than that. I would rather spend more money on a better piece of kit personally, that's a bit more robust, and it's not gonna break.
To be honest,
you'd be finished, particularly if you're going live, you know.
To be honest, I don't say it's worth the full price, that's for sure. But it's a good piece of kit. I mean, trust me, it will be pretty good for the studio.
I mean, once we try it out, I mean, it's quite often, I've often bought something and thought, oh, that's awful. And then it turns out that once I've got familiar with it, I don't want anything else, because it becomes, you realize it is quite easy to use. So we haven't tried it yet. So when we get a chance to try it out after this COVID lockdown, I mean, we can try it out in a live situation.
Yeah, well,
I'm making a few mistakes. You know?
For sure, I'm going to do a better review once I start to use it, because I want to play with it a bit before giving it my final judgment, and I want to use it. So making the review with it will show how easy it is to use, or if it's any good. To be fair, as I said, the price is a bit high, but the kit itself is not bad. Comes with so many adapters, so you don't have to worry about which lens you're going to use, because there's all the possible adapters. The remote that seemed to be a pain, it actually was my mistake. Well, it was half and half, 50-50. That because the manual didn't explain how to use it, and there was no documentation about it. So we had to go with a guess on how to use it properly, and the difference between the game and key switch. Even this one is plastic. This one, trust me, if Damien would have it in his hand and will throw it somewhere, this one is going to break. Sure, 100%. This one doesn't feel like hard plastic as the teleprompter is. But then on the other side, this remote is good if you are on your own. So you're far away from the camera, like on
my situation here, you know, sat in front of a camera and talking on YouTube. I'm sure that would be fine. It's just if you put it in any situation where, you know, you've got to put it together quickly, or you're going to be outside, or you've got to move locations, so you've got to unscrew it and put it to transport it. That's asking for trouble. You don't want to put anything together when you get to location, do you? You want everything ready as best you can.
But that's the thing. Technically, this one you can just leave it like this. You can just leave it like this.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure which lens you're going to use, the thing that you can do is put the adapter on the lens, on the different lenses you're going to take with you. So
we know that, wouldn't we? Really, most of the time with most sets that we go on, we know what we're going to use and how we're going to film it. So,
but again, if you want to do something on the go, so you don't know which lens you're going to use, you can just put all the adapters on the different lenses. So then if you choose to change the lens, you can always swap it around. Just plop it up, pop it off, and pop it in on the other lens.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like the most, because to be fair, all in all, it's a good piece of kit. I mean, I like it. After the bad experiments and bad experience we had with the unboxing, I do like it.
I think it'll be interesting to see how you feel about it once you've properly had a go with it. You can't really tell until you actually put it up and try it, isn't it, really, and do something, a project with it, you know, and then you can if it's got problems.
And that's the thing. I just want to take it and just use it for the next week. Actually, I'm gonna make a couple of videos, so in this way we might be able even to use it for the next week. Sorry. I'm going to use it this week. I'm going to see how many videos I'm able to make, because I told you the only thing I do not like at all is how you have to load the text on the app. That's something I don't like. There is no possibility for you to just write something on Word, for example, on the computer, upload it on your phone or on a shared drive or whatever you use, and then just select what you want to read. You need to copy and paste the text, so it's double work. And if in the copy paste you miss something, then you need to do it again.
And you might have a whole series of different scripts you're going to have to read on any one day. You know, you might say, well, we're going to 4 different pages, 4 different shoots. So, you know, you can't be fiddling around too much waiting for that.
No, so for the app, it looks like the remote works with other apps. So it must be something that is on the phone itself rather than the specific app.
Mm-hmm.
That means now it's just about playing with different teleprompter apps and find which one is the best to use. Because if I can find an app from which I can just load the document that I've created on the computer hours before, then it's much easier.
Yeah.
Instead of copy paste.
Yeah, I think there's one on. There's a number on Apple. I think it's iPrompt. I think it's called something simple.
Oh, I was just looking at it, and there are so many. A lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy enough bit of software, isn't it? It's just a matter of how you know, that sounds like it's been thrown together on that side of it.
Yeah, well, there is
Probably
one
company who has no technical knowledge.
The problem is that when you find the app that looks like the right one, because I found an app called Prompt Smart that import content from the cloud. So this means I can import files from whatever.
Makes sense.
But it's the light version, so it has advertised on it. It doesn't work fully. You need to pay to buy the full version. It's part of the teleprompter pod, but then you need to see even how many reviews they have, if they're real reviews, if they're really good. But that's another thing I will need to
find for you. What's the best prompter software? I mean, that would be quite interesting, but lots of us would like to know that.
Yeah, that could be interesting, actually. Find out which one is the best teleprompter software you can use with the teleprompter or even without.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, if you're recording with your phone, to imagine you have it like this pointing at you, you're looking at the screen. So if there is even a teleprompter app that can be used on the phone whilst you're recording yourself with the front camera, that was the idea you were saying yesterday. Why don't they have a monitor with a camera?
Yeah.
So if you use the front camera and you have the text scrolling in front of you, then it would be like having a teleprompter without having a teleprompter. So yeah, finding out which one is the best possible teleprompter app for iOS. For Android, I will need to ask Willow to lend me her phone. Because I don't have Android anymore. But to be fair, as I said, we had our bad experience with it. But all in all, it's not a bad thing. And £119 is a lot for it. That's true. But I'll let you know. Well, you'll actually see next week and the week after, because I will start to record new videos using the teleprompter, and I will write a proper review about it. So you will know more information. So just subscribe.
I'm sure you'll do about the teleprompter. A large part of it'll have to be done using the teleprompter, wouldn't it? And it'd be interesting to see if you have any outtakes, you know, at the end, because I always know that if I ever try to read from a teleprompter, it always goes wrong, because it either goes too fast or too slow, or you miss the last sentence and you start to have to make it up until you can catch up with where you think you're supposed to be. So it'd be quite interesting. It's quite an art using those things, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think it's all about getting used to it now.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's not a bad thing. We'll see by using it if it's really worth the money or not, and if it has any other problem behind.
Mm-hmm.
To know how it goes, the only thing you can do is subscribe. And by subscribing, you will be, and clicking the little bell, you will be notified every time a new video will come up, and you will see, and you will know, and you will understand if the Bestview or Bestview or Desview, all these different names, teleprompter is worth the money. Meanwhile, Craig and I had a nice chat.
Yeah, it was interesting actually. I mean, I've learned a lot from that.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, especially because
You buy as much as anything.
it's a really simple. So come on, it's a really simple thing. I mean, it's just a mirror and a piece of plastic behind. That's it.
Mm.
There were others that I saw that were other brands, and they were made just for phones, and more or less was the same price. That wasn't really different. Um, there is Glide Gear, for example, that is made for phone, and it comes with a nice little box with it. It looks better made, to be honest. It looks like a bit better quality, but it cost £160. So
What about that firm that we were using? We were buying a lot of good stuff from. Newer was really good. I wonder if they do something.
Oh no, actually. I'm gonna have a look now.
Because some of their stuff was pretty good for a lot of the kit that we were buying from them because the price was so good.
They do make a teleprompter, the X1 Mini, but it's only for phone, it's not for tablet. It's made of plastic, and it's smaller. It's smaller than the Bestview, and it costs just £10 less.
Okay, so that's quite pricey, and you don't want smaller because to me that looks quite small already. Actually.
You need to have the possibility of switching between the phone and the tablet.
Yeah.
So if the phone is too small for you, you can use the tablet and have bigger text rather than ending up having just a small one and not being able to use it.
You need a pretty big screen. I mean, the ones they use when you go into the big professional studios at the BBC and that, I mean, they're huge, great things, so, it's quite hard to read something tiny.
They are massive.
I
remember seeing one in a studio in Italy, and it was just like a big monitor. And they're all controlled by computers. I mean, that then you're going into the thousands.
Yeah. And you've got either somebody or a computer listening to you, so that it's always putting the words you want right slap bang in the middle of the screen. For it to scroll up, it's speeding up and slowing down exactly in terms with the way you're reading it. So it's obviously got a voice recognition in the software, or some little Chinese guy there wheeling it around in the background.
Actually, the one you see in the BBC or on television, they actually have people in the behind the scene on the computer typing as the anchorman or whoever is in front of the camera is talking.
Are they? They're putting it out live. They're typing it as you go.
Yeah, that's why sometimes when you see the news, like they have breaking news, something come up when they're talking, they're able to say good information about it without having to. It doesn't look like they're reading anything. They're just like, oh, we just had an update.
You assume it's from their earpiece, but of course they're getting it on the screen at the same time. They're probably getting instructions in the earpiece, and some stenographer typing it out pretty damn quick. Yeah.
And the funny thing, and I don't know if you saw the movie with Jim Carrey, Bruce Almighty.
All right, yeah.
Gods and God gave him his powers for a period of time. The anchorman, the people on television that are reading this teleprompter for as a job, they are actually instructed to read whatever is written there.
All right, yeah.
And there are some funny videos you can find on YouTube about people just reading absolutely everything and like reading the line of somebody else. Or somebody wrote something wrong and they just read it. And then they put that ad because they are not even understanding what they're reading. They're just reading like robots.
Yeah. I suppose you would have to be in that frame of mind to do that, I think, because you just got to trust that what you're being given is you are just a presenter, so I presume they just get into a mindset that that's what it is. That's what I present. It's not about opinion, is it?
Yeah, that's it. And that's why it's funny, because if I would be working in television doing the teleprompter text, and I would be fired, and on my last day I would just go nuts with it.
Yeah,
Like, that's my last day, I'm gonna write whatever I want.
I'm thinking actually, Domenico, I know that you encountered a few natural problems there, which was quite fun. I think I always like to watch those sort of things. But you could do a fantastic show where it goes wrong, like Tommy Cooper's tricks. You know Tommy Cooper, of course. You watch Tommy Cooper, I guess, have you? Yeah, So I mean, so yeah, I think it'd be quite funny where cameras fall apart, you know, and you do it with great confidence, like you do, but it just keeps going wrong. You know, I mean, it'd make a great little channel, great way of doing
my life.
And then do a serious bit at the end to give them the actual real, you know, the real thing at the end. That actually, this is what you do, and you do it all properly and whiz, you know. But have a little bit where things explode, and you can have like party poppers and things hidden, flash guns and things hidden in the room, so and buckets of water, so you could make it into something that's going to be very watchable.
Actually, if you see the other videos I've made that are on my channel where I'm in front of the camera, if you look at how much editing I had to do for those videos, because I was talking with the camera and the tripod just decided not to work anymore and just falls down, or the camera goes in, the heat of the camera goes too high, the temperature of the camera goes too high, and it goes into protection, so it turns off. And I'm just talking with the camera, but the camera is off. The other thing was the light. I charged the battery 100%, but because of all the times I repeated the story that I was saying, the battery ran out and I didn't realize. And when I had the perfect shot, the light went off.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing. I mean, that's the thing that everybody who does anything to do with broadcasting or YouTube and the rest of it, that's the stuff that you got every minute of the day, isn't it? It's all, you don't see the mistakes, but you know they're endless, and it's. I think that's.
Well, it's enough. It's enough thinking how many times we have to retake a shot with you.
Oh me, my problem is I cough too much, you know. So every now and again,
there is the cough, or there are the people coming. You remember when we were sitting in that church next to that village where there were the stones? We went to this little village with the stones, like Stone Age, but it's not Stone Age. It's similar.
Yeah.
And it was raining, and we decided to sit outside this church in that the little thing. And you were talking, and all of a sudden people started to walk, and you had to redo the scene.
Every time, because every time I got, we just got it because we were doing an ad lib, weren't we? I had no script or anything, so I was just talking to camera, and we just got it right. You know? And someone walks into camera, didn't they? Every time. We came out all right in the end, though, and I think you played around in post production a lot with it too, didn't you? And we got it just right in the end.
Yeah, there is a lot of work for these things to do, but that's the fun. It's still an art, although people are saying, but you use digital cameras, it doesn't look like it's an art. It's more like presenting an opinion or a video. I think that there is an art behind all these.
Yeah, indeed there is. I think it's a new style of art that you've never done before. I mean, you did it in the past too. I mean, when you first played around with Super 8 and things and chopping it around and trying to edit then, you know, and a long thin strip to make a fade and all those type of things you'd do. I mean, that was more of a craft. But this nowadays, I think, you know, you can let your artistic skills come in, particularly when you've got an idea about what you can do in post-production as well when you're filming. So you can think, oh, I can sort that out. That's no problem. Or if I do this, I know we can slow that down and it'll look funny, or speed it up and it'll look good, and so all those type of things.
Well, I remember I was using the Amiga 500, actually the Amiga 600 I had, with a mixer that was connected with a VCR, two VCRs, one with the main video and the second one was recording, then connected to a stereo for the music, and then the Amiga used for the titles.
Yeah.
With my father, we were taking like holidays video, and my father was cutting them and putting the music and the titles on it.
Yeah.
We're talking about the 80s.
Yeah, my dad was too. He's one of the first people to get one of the earliest of cameras, and he made the titles at the beginning by doing step animation, so he'd move one letter a little bit, or little cut out letters like a poison pen letter, move one letter, move the next, hours and hours of work just to get a few seconds at the beginning, where it says family video or something,
Yeah, and the good thing today is that anybody can actually do it if they have a computer or a mobile phone. You saw Willow's video. She just made it with a phone. She made it with a phone.
Did she? I was wondering how she did it. There's so many clever little things, spinning letters and titles going all over the place and things. It's brilliant.
Yeah, the problem is that she gave it to the teacher as work, and shouldn't be that.
Well, I think it's all right as a supplement to work. Yeah, she'd have to do this spade work as well, wouldn't you? The actual.
No, you need to do
Mexico, which the topic was. So yeah, that's it.
I mean, if it was just for their friends and for fun, it would have been absolutely perfect. But it was an official piece of work, and there were memes on it and all this stuff.
I noticed. I noticed one or two bits that the teacher probably wouldn't like.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's not me, it's not Danielle. For us, it's absolutely fine. It's just that the teachers won't like it. So
yeah, you could like it.
The stereotypical way of presenting work at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good to do that as an extra, though. I mean, kids being able to do video, because she's getting good at video production and she just enjoys it, doesn't she? Which is also a secondary skill that you've got as well there too. But it can't be, like you say, it can't be the main thrust of your work, can it? I mean, I'm still a great believer in the old hard style we learned when we were at school, which was, writing essays and learning all the facts and hoping it comes up with the topic you need, rather than tick box answers that they have nowadays.
But then we are in a different society today. That's something I was thinking a lot, because Daniel, for example, complains that the kids are often on mobile phones or tablets or computer playing video games. But then take Damien, for example. He asked me to play Roblox with him. He asked even you to play Roblox with him. And it's getting into his world. And although it's virtual, when we play together, he's really excited because Dad is playing with me.
Yeah.
And we are evolving as society, and technology today is everywhere. It's in the cars, it's in your home, it's on your wrist, on the watches, it's in your pocket. So I think we should encourage people everywhere in the world to change their mentality from that's how you have to present the essay because that's how I want it, into you present the essay in the way you want. That suits you better, but the essay has to be on Mexico. It's history, geography.
Yeah, how you present things and how the type of stuff you learn too, because I remember, I'm not sure who said it, Johnson or someone said it, said that there's two types of knowledge. There's the knowledge I know and the knowledge I know how to find, that was said back in centuries ago, but I mean that still applies today actually, except with the knowledge we know how to find is now become quite easy because we can just log in. But even so, we can do a search and find the wrong knowledge if we don't do our work online. That's just where we get all the fake news and where we get all the misinformation. So kids need to learn how to find the knowledge, how to retain the knowledge they know, learn stuff. I still think it's good to learn the facts, particularly history. I wish they'd learn that. And then also, because we're going through it all again. We'll have the night of the long knives soon in Washington if we're not careful. And then also the knowledge we know how to find and the knowledge we have. So you do have to have the knowledge you have. That's the very important thing. Things you retain and know that. Battle of Hastings was 1066. You need to know those things, but then you also need to be able to find out, what happened then and who died then and how it worked and what a consequence of it, which you can also you can learn from the secondary information from searching.
I'd say you need to have a base. You need to know how to search. What I usually say, like when I had an interview last week, and one of the questions they asked me, because the role includes hiring other people. One of the questions was, how are you going to find the perfect candidate?
And
I told them that the right candidate is the one that knows how to ask the questions and not the one that has the answers.
Oh
Because
yeah, I mean that applies to every part of life. That's a good comment. Yeah.
the person that has the answers, whether it's religion, personal ideas, work, their answer is limited. So yeah, they might be really great, they might be good, amazing, but then when a new technology, something different appears, then they are not able to switch to that. While the person that posed the question, like, how am I going to develop this automation? I know I need to use Python, for example, and what it has to do, what the acceptance criteria are, but how am I going to develop it? How am I going to find the right way? And start to search and make his own mind out of it. He's able then to do it with other technologies too. If you bring to this person a different language, different programming language, the person is not going to say no. The person is going to say, how am I going to do it? I will search for it.
Mm-hmm. That's where you need innovative, creative people, isn't it? Really, because I mean, it's not just, there's no one way of doing things. There's always going to be multiple ways of doing things, and that's where you need that secondary type of intelligence that goes with that. Really, don't you? You know, it's not just, you know, I sit down and I write a piece of code in Python or whatever. It's thinking that, you know, thinking that there's shortcuts and there's new ways of doing it, and it applies to every field, you know. But I also think with learning, you also need to have that framework of knowledge. It's like when I write a book, I have to have a synopsis there. I write myself a synopsis first, so I know kind of where I'm going. Or sometimes I even might make a mind map of it, you know, with a few notes and things, so I know the kind of direction you're heading in, so you don't get lost. And I think that's one of the things you always need with learning about any topic whatsoever, really.
As Darren says, the things you memorize can help you make mental connections with the new information.
Yeah, absolutely, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
It's like,
you memorized how to do something, but that helps you then make the connection with all the rest.
yeah, you need a sort of a bit of a framework. It's like if you're, you know, if you're an artist and you're making a clay model or something, you put all the framework on first before you stick all the plaster on it, as it were. You've got to have a sort of a sketch before you can have the final thing. And I think like that. I need a sketch in my mind, get an overview. I need to have an idea of the overall picture, and then I can fill the detail in. So like if I've got to learn something from a book, I still use books to learn rather than the internet. And this is one of the things I think is good about a book, is you might flick through it and get the just reading the chapters, headings, gives you an idea of where you're going, or read the end of it a bit, so that you've got an idea what you're trying to achieve ultimately. So I always need to be able to see the horizon when I'm learning the detail.
But you see, back with the interview, I've done the technical test with this company, and I have this thing when I have to write a test strategy, for example, I'm not writing point by point by point. I'm writing a general idea first with everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the little like dots. Point 1, 2, 3 for this, point 1, 2, 3 for that. And then I start to develop over those ideas. And actually doing it in that way was something that the company really liked. Because they said, yes, you didn't need, because they said you didn't have the time to fill it completely in detail. We just did an overview, and actually said that my test was one of the best between all the candidates.
Yeah.
Because
we used to have that same thing in GCSEs when we were at school and A-levels and things. I mean, if you ran out of time, what you would do is the last 5 minutes that you're desperately trying to finish the question, you put down a whole list of notes or bullet points of where you were going to go with the story, as it were. And that can bring you up to a proper full grade, because they know that you've basically got the gist of where you're going from. You know, they know you know the detail, but they know where you're going. And that's the same in anything we do in life, isn't it? We've got to have that. It's important to think like that. I mean, and even in your field with creative photography and video, and you've got to have an idea of what you've got to have a beginning, middle, and an end when you're working the story out. And it's the same if you're doing videos or you know, like we're looking at the monitors and things there today. I mean, that's all very well just reading off a monitor, but when you actually are in the creative field, you've got to sort of have this idea of where we're going to take it, you know, the creative, and often, like when we film, sometimes the storyline might change because we spot something that we think this will make it even more interesting, won't it? And yet we still got a destination in mind of where we're going to take the story, but we can sometimes find new information.
But
like,
you see,
you know,
that's the part for odd curiosities. That is about odd curiosities. So the series is not about reading a text, but it's about having a general notion of what you're talking about, and then learn to make research about it.
Yeah.
More detailed. While doing a tech review of a camera, there are so many details that you need to know, like the megapixel, the size of the sensor and the monitor and all these things, that it's better to have a script written that tells you exactly what you need to say, and then you start to add the little bit at the end. But when you start technical information, it's better to have everything written.
Yeah, it depends what you're trying to do, but even so, it's sometimes also quite good. I personally like to work, so I've got a little bit of flexibility, and I expect a lot of people work like that. Actors and actresses must work like that sometimes too. You know, I mean, particularly comedians. I mean, you need to be able to sometimes go off script a bit, I think. And that's my way, but I'm just like that, you know.
But then you see there are so many people that do not like these things. I had an argument with a company because they didn't want to write the test in the language they asked me, because they wanted to use that language because it's the one that developers use. I had an argument because I said, but developers and testers are two completely different teams.
Yeah.
Work on the same product, they are aiming at different results. One aims at producing the software as fast as possible. The other one is testing the software as fast as possible to prevent defects rather than discovering them. And having the same language,
that type of thing, isn't it? People get railroaded into their own way of thinking and can't look outside of the box.
But then it goes to that mentality of, I know this language, I don't want to get off this language because I don't know how to review it. How can I control them?
Yeah.
Same thing. A company that I just told them, thank you, don't worry. They were just like, oh, the highest manager is Italian and he loves people to be in the office so they can have coffee together. He loves to sit to like pass in the office and see what the others are doing. And I was like, that's not a nice thing, actually. That's micromanaging. That's not trusting your employees. That's just looking over their shoulder to make sure that they are doing the job instead of trusting them to do the best job.
Yeah.
And
I used when I years and years ago, before computers, when I had my sort of advertising and graphics company, I used to get the whole team together every morning and we'd have a 10-minute meeting just to thrash out creative ideas of where we're each going that day, you know. And that was a fantastic thing because in those 10 minutes, not only did you find out if people had problems and needed some help with something or they were stuck or something, but you'd get all sorts of ideas coming up. And again, it's this idea that, you know, okay, I'm starting the day. Sometimes I sit down when I'm on my own working now and I don't know where the hell I'm going. But if you've got a little group like that can sort of pull their resources quite quickly, and then you know where you're going, you know what your deadlines are too, and you've sort of expressed a few ideas because you're particularly working on a campaign that is for, you know, one client or something. It can be really, really beneficial, you know, and breaks that whole idea of we've always got to work in this same simple, repetitive way. You know, my thought has always been the people that make most money in their life are not necessarily the ones that do the hardest work. It's those that think smart. And the same with every field. The most creative people think smart. They don't think, you know, I'm going to paint every blade of grass. You know, it's about getting that idea, like we're saying about education at the bit earlier on, about it's having that bigger picture idea, that framework, and you need to do it in every single aspect of your life, really. Every time, you know, your working life, every time you're planning something, have that framework in place for the day or even for the hour. And you can become very, very productive in quite a short time, I think.
By the way, now talking about work from the review and all these things. Actually, you know that this one can be pretty good for meetings, because you can have the meeting open on your phone and use this one to reflect the image of the meeting.
Right, you're gonna do a job meeting like a robot and just
No, not with the text, but with the videos of the people. So, like now we're talking, and if I want to look at you, I need to turn my head and look at the monitor.
yeah.
This is over there. If I have the screen here on the teleprompter that reflects on the screen, so I can look at the screen on the.
Yeah, you don't have to just use it for words, do you? That's a good idea. That's quite clever.
Into the camera whilst I'm talking, but I'm looking at you. So
yeah,
even better. There you go. Another way of using the teleprompter.
Yeah, we might find a new application for this that might turn the company's fortunes around quite quickly.
Yeah, it's actually not bad, because you know how impersonal it is when you're talking in a meeting and the person is looking like this, because the camera is there and the monitor is over there, so it's looking at you like this, but you don't see them in the eyes. Or the person looks at you in the eyes through the camera. It looks
or blogging on an iPhone, because a lot of people blog on an iPhone. Hang on, how could we do it like that? No, it wouldn't quite work, would it? But you might be able to do it the opposite way round, where you reflect it back into the iPhone. No, it wouldn't work.
No.
But I've always thought it'd be nice to have a screen, so you could have a computer screen that you could actually talk straight into the middle of it, rather than like I'm doing now, looking down to my monitor here and up to the camera up there. It's
you were saying yesterday, having a monitor with a camera built in.
Yeah, a screen
in the center.
Yeah, a monitor with a camera in the middle of it. It's got to be easy to do. Got to be. If you can film through that, I'm sure there's a way of doing it.
The new Samsung actually, and even some other brand of Android phone, they have the camera inside the monitor, inside the screen, so you don't see anything.
They're on the way then.
Well, yeah, you don't see anything, and the camera is hidden under the screen.
Anyway, I think we should start concluding soon, because I need a cup of tea.
Yeah, and I need another glass of my grape juice.
So that was pretty interesting. I thought that was.
As I said, it's this little thing. It's a nice tool. To be fair, I'm not sure it's worth the full price. But on the other side, what I'm gonna say is, just wait next week, and you're gonna have a proper review of this teleprompter. And if you haven't done, just subscribe to the channel so you can be updated when the new video comes out. And we'll see if it's really worth the money, how many videos you can pull out by using these, if it's really easy to use, and how I feel about it. Meanwhile, Craig and I wish you all good night.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I see a number of you joined to ask questions and things. You have to bring some of the questions up on the screen a bit more next time.
Yeah, some of them were answered.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. Remember to hit a like, subscribe, and if you haven't done it, actually, if you want to support Craig and I in our channels, Craig has the Craig Hamilton Parker channel, in which he does psychic, mediumship, predictions, and the Friday Live with Jane. I got my channel, Tom Detail and Dead, where it's mostly reviews and hot curiosities. And Craig and I have a third channel. It's a partnership in which we are just having chats like we have done right now. And we're going to talk about anything, right? By anything, I mean anything. We just let our brain go.
And some pretty weird stuff sometimes too, isn't it? And a bit of ideas about what is reality and all that type of stuff. So that's an interesting one that I think we're getting a lot of interest in.
So just join us, and we're gonna have some fun, because we try to do them live. So we try to answer the questions or ask questions too at the same time. And if any of you is interested to join us in our chats, you can just leave a comment down below and we will contact you in a way. If not, you can find our Facebook pages, which you can just message us, and we can have you on the live with us as we are now, and we can all have a nice chat together and exchange ideas. The more the better. Meanwhile, Have all lovely evenings and good night.
Bye for now.